Hello, hello to everyone on this beautiful morning, beautiful day, beautiful life. I am not back. I just want to make that clear. Not fully anyway, not on YouTube. I have had to take a break because I deserved a break and I deserved time for myself. And I had some decisions to make. As many of you all may find in your own lives, you've had some serious decisions that you needed to make. So we're just going to jump right in. A lot of the channels that I was receiving and continue to receive are getting more and more detailed, more hard-hitting. And I kind of have to decide, still am deciding what I want to share, what I don't want to share, who's worth it, most are not. Sorry, it is what it is. And so I kind of just disconnected from everything and everyone. It's kind of that pearls before swine type of thing where I just kind of have been to myself and only a very close few. For a while, I even had someone writing down my channels because they were coming through so thick, and I've even decided against that. I just found that most of what was attracted to me at the time and still continues to stalk me now is not worth such sacred information, okay? And that's my choice, and that's what it is. I did put out a very large channel on Facebook before I disconnected, because I've since disconnected from all social media, just because there was and is a lot of eyes on me. And it just got to be a bit much, the wrong kind of eyes, you know, envious, jealousy. And I tell you all the time, it doesn't really take somebody doing a whole bunch of huda workings to, you know, throw shade your way. All it really takes is, you know, people that are so envious and so jealous that they just really want the absolute worst for you. And I just don't want to deal with it. So I did put out a channel. I did say that I was going to put the channel out on YouTube after that, and then I decided against it. I maybe even deleted the one that was on Facebook. I honestly can't remember. It was alive. I think I may have deleted it. Because it kept locking up the signal anyways, which has been happening as well. There's been a lot of like crazy technology interferences, you could say. So nonetheless, I wanted to come to you this morning because I feel like many people in some way or another are going through something like this. I feel like many of us have been juggling for a long time, whether that is juggling money, juggling bills, juggling people, juggling lifestyles, juggling work, you know, whatever it may be. I feel like many of us have been trying very hard to not disappoint the ones that we care about, but in all honesty, the time has come for some serious boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like some lines in the sand need to be drawn. For many of us, they've been drawn whether we wanted them to be or not. Universe has a funny way of working like that. When you're not listening, sometimes things will happen that make you stand up and pay attention. But then again, you could still face it head on, or you could put your head in the sand, right? Free will is still always going to be a thing. But yeah, serious boundaries and very, very hard choices. Near really ultimatums, and these ultimatums are not ones that we are giving to other people, but ones that we are giving to ourselves. All right. So it has become a matter of our own stability and happiness. Okay. Who are we going to let in? Who are we going to continue to let in? Who are we going to communicate with? And what are we going to communicate? Okay. The he said, she said misery loves company, the constant negativity, the pessimistic attitudes, do we want that? Is that something we want to continue to entertain just because we love someone? Do we want to continue to not do the things that make us happy because someone in our life will be upset with us or possibly leave our lives? And these are serious questions for the ones that really care. For a long time, we have kind of cared, many of us, about everyone else's needs before our own. And we sort of try to carry a weight on ourselves that's very unfair. And it's just really time to put our foot down and say, I control my life and I can't do that to myself. I won't do that to myself. Okay? We have to stand up. And that's what a lot of us are in the middle of doing. There's been a lot of shedding. There's been a lot of purging. There's been a lot of solitude. Many of us are channeling harder than ever. We're being ripped away into tunnels that we certainly didn't ask for, at least, not consciously. Many of us are building sanctuaries. We're building sacred places. We're going back to some of our ancient sacred places that we maybe didn't even know we were connected to. We have seen firsthand that the consistent unstable behaviors must go. Okay? It's just not going to work anymore. And with the state of the world, it's become possibly more important than ever to listen up, to be alert, to be cautious. There are no small messages anymore. I'm not sure that there ever were. Okay? But for certain now, I don't feel like there are any small messages. We believe that there is messages and miracles in everything, everywhere, in everyone. But it's hard to live that way and pay attention that way and still do your day-to-day life, paying your bills, raising your kids, taking care of households, whatever it is, life, right? Life. The world it's in a state of disarray. It's in a state of war. It always has been, but it's so in your face now. And I think that many of us never even thought that we would see what we are currently seeing. And it's been quite a struggle and a juggle, just that alone, to keep some sort of normal life, honestly. So that is where we are. I did want to share one message with you before I forget, before we jump into cards. During a reading in a channel a few days ago, an ancient one came through, and it was very clear to me, the message that the bloodlines are trivial. Maybe they always have been, or maybe we've just come to that point. I am not telling you to stop working with your ancestors. I'm not telling you by any means that ancestors don't matter, that lineage does not matter. But the bloodlines overall, at least at this point, have become trivial and unimportant. I was told very clearly that the soul makes the DNA. The DNA does not make the soul. It is 100% possible to rewrite your codes. We've been doing it forever. We've also, the time and the resetting of time and the jumping of time has been happening more and more to many of us just by accident, which I think is another reason why it's so important that we are so aware of what we are doing, what we are saying, what we are putting out. And yeah, I also want to make it clear, if you need to disconnect, do it. Your sanity and your mental health and your physical health overall is going to be the most important thing. There are always going to be the ones that want to tear you down. But for every one of those, there's probably 100 that don't. And so at this time, I want to take a moment and I want to thank everyone who has reached out to me over the last week. You may not even fully understand what you're doing, and that's okay. I do. I understand. And I needed that. I needed that reassurance, as many of you will find that you will be reassured in ways that you didn't even know you needed. Okay, so thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for everyone that has, over the past week, found a way to reach me, even though I've not been on YouTube. I'm not on social media. I haven't poked my head out to anyone, and some of these people I haven't even spoke to for 3 years, one of them 8 years, and you're finding a way to contact me because that's what time it is. And I love you so much, and I appreciate you so much, because no matter how far we get along on our journey, no matter how high or direction or whatever, I don't really like to say high or low, or there's levels, you know, but no matter where we are, we can and do lose hope, because it gets hard out here, man. There's a lot of negativity going on, and it gets hard to continue to put hope in humanity when we are constantly bombarded with the things that we are currently being bombarded with. And so people like me, and possibly people like you, it's a wonderful thing to have people that still have love in their heart, that will reach out to you, that will find a way. And trust me, baby, y'all have found some ways to restore that hope and to remind us that there still are beautiful things out there, okay? And that just because we are the messenger, it's like, don't shoot the messenger, man. Like, seriously. That we don't have to bear the weight of those messages. All right. So let's get into this. And y'all see, like, I went through, you see, I don't have my nails done. Like, I haven't even, I just barely put my jewelry back on. I took my bracelets off because I was making something. Okay. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I have been doing crazy work in the shop. I'm about to bring some new sets to y'all, try to get those out for y'all, but for the holidays, so that you can buy those for your families or for yourselves. As you know, I sell and make many products. Everything is handmade. Everything is completely designed from the bottom up through channels by me, by us, I should say. There's a group of us, not physical us, but ethereal us, spiritual us. And I sell each item. So I try to make sets during the holidays because that's when people are buying. And I try to make the set worth it for you to buy. And by that, I mean, I try to give you a lower price, actually a significantly lower price, to buy a set versus buying each item from me. And it's harder to do now because inflation is a real thing. Shipping has gone up, supplies have gone up, everything has gone up. So, but I'm still trying to be here for you, which is the reason I started my shop years ago, was because I wanted the everyday person to be able to afford these very sacred and special items. And I'm still trying to do that. So yeah, I've been very busy, even though I haven't been busy doing free readings, because these are free. I do not get paid for these. I still very much have been busy doing personals, and very busy in the shop, consistently creating and trying to keep inventory up for y'all, and trying to keep prices as low as I can. I have had to raise some, but in the grand scheme of things, yeah. So that the sets are coming soon. Beautiful things in there. Matter of fact, let me show you some of the things that will be in the sets. So obviously the Florida water sets come with my Florida water, which was done by a channel, formulated by a channel. You'll have the roll-on, you'll have the body splash slash floor wash, whatever you choose to use it for. It's concentrated. You can dilute it. You'll have the sage, the Palo Santo. You'll have some crystals in there, and then you'll also have some incense. You'll have the option of adding a piece of jewelry, things like this. Okay. For those of you that have never been to my shop, they sell out quick, and I really don't make anything twice. As far as like pieces of jewelry or wands or altar items, everything is very unique in its own way. It may be like something, but I mean, again, it's handmade, so it's going to be very different, each one, and that's on purpose. Nobody is going to be rocking two things that are alike for me. Okay, so like we got some rhodonite, howlite, rose quartz, some tassels, and then just some regular beads. We got aquamarine over here, again, some rhodonite and some tassels. This one here is channeled with Yemeya's energy, so we have a bunch of seashells, we have howlite, we have different shells, different type of seashells. We've got the Eye of Ra, we've got all kinds of like marine life, seahorses, octopus, dolphins, things like that. We've got aquamarine stones, okay, amethyst. Okay, this one here is just like a protective piece. This is the lotus blossom. We've got the Hamza hand, however you say that. We've got tons of different stones on here. Rhodonite, amethyst, turquoise, jade, quartz. We've got feathers. We've got the evil eye, faith, a lock and key for the heart, just things like that. Okay, so this is just some of the stuff that I make, in case y'all haven't seen. And again, there won't be two alike ever. And if you know, if you actually follow my shop, you'll know, like, the pieces of jewelry, they don't last long, and once it's gone, it's gone. And part of that is because I collect things from all over. So many of the stones, they're very unique. They're very one. I couldn't make another one if I wanted to. All right. You're never alone. I think sometimes some of us wish we were more alone than we are. And then when no one comes around, we're like, oh, I'm so alone. No, we're never alone. We're never alone. Always breaking through illusions, okay, paying attention to what is truly ours, our divine nature, what we are truly here to do. Some may perceive it as evil. Let me tell you something about that. I have this one stalker, I actually have a few of them, but this one has gone through the ultimate lengths of consistently making new accounts. Doesn't matter how I block. And I'm not into like putting out bad things on people because, well, first of all, I have hope. I have hope that people will delete the hatred in their heart. However, you know, not always going to be the case. But I have this one that just constantly, I mean, this person calls me a pig. This person calls me evil. This person has, you know, put bad things on Ezra, saying bad things about my 5-year-old. This person is just absolute trash. But I have hope that one day they won't be trash. You're going to be perceived as whatever people want to perceive you are, especially when you have, or perceive you as, especially when you have the gifts that some of us have. And every religion will tell you in some form, in some way, that in these times, your sons and daughters will dream dreams. Like the gift of prophecy, the gift of tongue, the gift of alchemy, the gift of manifestation. It's a real thing, right? This high priestess energy that some of us have, look, let me tell you something else. Many of us didn't even want to take the crown back, okay? We were kind of like, oh, no. See, you're going to sit down, you're going to take your crown, and you're going to take care of your responsibilities. With that, though, you have these people that are going to call you evil. They're going to tell you you're horrible. They're going to put bad things. They're going to say bad things, wish your family death. They're going to wish, all these things. And you just kind of have to break through the illusion of these people are sad, they're broken, they're misled, and they may always be misled. And in that same breath, I'm going to tell you that these people have a specific job. They do not understand what they're actually being ruled by. They don't understand always the things that are attached to them, and I will be a lying spirit whispering in their ear, baby. Okay? They do not understand that they are a puppet. You don't have to stay a puppet, but most of them do. But they have a role. Even they have a role. Their role is to come to you and consistently wish bad on you, consistently talk down to you, consistently create negativity around you, and try to break you. They're trying to break you. They're trying to steer you away from your purpose. They're trying to steer you away from helping others. Okay? That's what they're there to do. So even the absolute worst ones have a job to do. And then we're reminded that we're never alone. We're not losing anything we're not supposed to lose. We're breaking through the illusion. We have just spent a massive amount of time in a state of reflection in these past 3 months. And here we are, stronger than ever. And also, I want to say, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't. You do what you know you're supposed to do, and if you're not ready, don't do it. And if you're ready, don't let anyone keep you from doing it. And again, that comes with making some serious choices, setting some serious boundaries, and deciding what you're going to say, what you're not going to say, what you're going to tolerate, what you're not going to tolerate. These people have always been, and they're always going to be. They have a job to do, and so do you. Standing up. Standing up. That's what time it is. It's time for us to stand up. Okay. These people are emotional manipulators, okay? And they're desperate because it's a desperate time. Okay, the opposing side is absolutely desperate. And you can see this. You can see this in the media. You can see this in politics. You can see this in the everyday person. You can see the desperation. And baby, if you think it's going to get better anytime soon, you're wrong. Will it get better? Absolutely. Will it get better tomorrow or next year or in the next 5 years? No. The desperation is real. I'll not be pawed at, sir. So we've got that Queen of Cups flipping out like that, doing a dance. Doing a dance. Still going. Choppy waters and all. Getting through it. Working through it. That's what it's about. You get a moment of peace, and then you have real life to take care of. You've got things to take care of. There's no, easy peasy silver spoon. I promise you, the people with the most money in the world still have issues. Not the same issues, of course, obviously. They're not struggling to keep the lights on. They're not struggling to, you know, find out where their next place is going to be, if they're going to be able to keep a roof over their head, what their next meal is going to be, things like that. But they do struggle, you know, they may struggle with other things like, well, you know, does this person only love me for my money? Or lawsuits. Like, rich people have a ton of lawsuits. Like, you can't, like, everybody has problems. It's never going to matter where you are in life. You're going to have confrontation. You're going to have people and things that want to bring you down. That's the opposing side. It's always been there. It's always going to be there. You're going to have R-worders. Somebody is on me about the channel that I did about the woman, which we did actually find the body. We found the meaning of the message. We found her name. We found the roads. We found the locate. We found everything. And so I deleted the channel because it no longer needed to be up. You know, the one that I said, like, here's where I've been, and I had, like, deaths in the family, like, boom, 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 boom. Only one of those was just a kind of a fluke and an accident, and it wasn't even that. But the other ones, I mean, you know, my aunt had been in bad health for years and years and years. She just didn't take care of herself. My uncle also had been in bad health for years, just not taking care. You know, that's what happens. You know, we think we're going to be young forever, and our health catches up with us. So it didn't, like, truly affect me in any way. Only one of them did. But it affected, you know, other members of my family that I needed to be there for at the time. But I deleted that video because once I let you know where I've been and what I've been dealing with, there wasn't a need for it to be up. It's not that I'm trying to hide anything or act like I never put anything out. Like, no, it served its purpose. It made y'all aware. We found what we needed to find, and then, okay, we're done with that. We found what we needed to find. Is that what I said? Found what we needed to find. Yeah, you know, people think they're so powerful. Give them a birthday cake. Smother them with love. Kill them with kindness. They hate it. They hate it. Yeah. So on a subconscious level, many of us have been calling in, or even on a conscious level for some of us, we've been calling in more members of our tribe, more significant members of our tribes. We've been making connections, these connections that have been made recently, a lot of them are here to stay. You know, normally I'll tell you a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Some of these recent connections, they're here to stay till the end. This is kind of like a death do us part type of scenario, but not necessarily in the form of like husband and wife marriage. Okay, there's tons of other relationships and connections. Relationships come in all forms, but these have really come together over a long period of meditation and crying out and reaching up and sort of like lighting up our signals and our antennas. People are coming to us, and these people are going to help us fill in the blanks. They're going to help us, you know, there is power in numbers. There's a time to be alone, and there is a time for your tribe. And right now, it's going to take more than just one. Okay? It just is. Everyone, if you look at the world, we're tribal by nature, and everyone is starting to click and tribe up in a bad way. Okay? It's very divisive. So it's going to take those of us that are extremely spiritual and have a lot of faith and have a lot of pull and a lot of power in other realms to do what we need to do. There are some things you'll do alone, but many of the things that we're doing now, it's going to take more. And a lot of that is simply because to put all of that on one person is extremely unfair and overwhelming. So we're being offered help, okay, to put together the pieces, to share the research, to share the channels, to share the information, to share the job, to bounce off ideas, to reaffirm, right? No, we're no longer in an echo chamber, because when you're by yourself, you tend to be in an echo chamber because you have no one to bounce it off of. You know, to look at broader and different interpretations and perspectives. Okay, so that's what this is. That's what this has been. And it's important with those significant sacred messages to kind of keep it on the down low for now. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. Number one, giving the wrong people serious messages can really break you down and burn you out. And giving the wrong people serious messages can really hinder you because they may be doing something else with that information. So there is that part of what has been going on for the past, I would say, 6 months. Well, it's always gone on, but I would say heavy for the past 6 months. I'm now told to reiterate to you that there are no small messages. Three of Wands. Okay, we're reaching goals, we're going to new heights, and some of us, we are waiting. They've shown us the peak, they've shown us the mountain, they've shown us the direction we need to go, and we're on our way. I'm not saying that. Yeah, things have been happening at warp speed. It's been very, very rapid. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I think many of us didn't even realize or never thought that we would be alive to see the day of some of the things that we are witnessing currently. We always knew it was going to happen, but I just think you never think, it's not going to happen in my lifetime. Like, yeah, it's headed in that direction, but I'm not going to live to see the day. No, it's like we've jumped ahead. We've also been told what we're capable of, what we're able to completely control, take action. Many of us are, I would call, like, humble to a fault. Like I said, you know, earlier about being forced to kind of take back your crown, you know. I was watching, what was I watching the other day? Oh, King Arthur. I was rewatching King Arthur with a friend. He'd never seen it. And the new one with the guy from Sons of Anarchy. And when the mage tells him, like, that he wants to look away, and she's, like, kind of being hard on him, right? And she says, basically, in different words, don't get it twisted, like, we all look away. She looks away. He looks away. We all look away. But that's the difference between a king and a man. The king doesn't look away. And I think that's really significant now for those of us that have things that we need to do, things that we need to take care of. In probably many aspects of your physical life and serious aspects of our spiritual life. Many of you have been stuck in stagnant energy for far too long, whether it's because you were scared to move, and moving may be literal, you know, relocation. It could be moving on from something. It could be reassessing your entire, you know, livelihood. It could be moving on from people, you know, take it as it resonates. But many of us have been really kind of stagnant for whatever reason. And here is where we break out. Here's where we break free. Here's where we break off. Okay? There's massive healing coming in. Massive healing. And it has really been this sort of like push to take accountability, right? So like I was just having a conversation with one of my beautiful sisters last night. I'm having to learn to say no. No. No, you missed your chance. No, I made time for you and you missed your chance, and now I have put things off because I don't say no. I continue to put things off to appease other people because I don't want to be mean, because I truly love people. You know, I have to say no. I have to raise my prices. When people come to me and they don't have a lot of money, I will still give them the reading even though they're paying half the price. And I put myself in a situation, you know, where I am kind of picking up the pieces and making things harder on myself. And, you know, working for 16 to 24 hours straight with no sleep because I've put everything off to appease someone else because I love them and I know they didn't mean it and I know they messed up and I know they're sorry. And it's like, no, all of that may be true, but I still have to learn to say no. And it's very much no one else's fault but my own that I am not saying no. If I get burnt out because I am not delegating my time correctly and I'm not standing my ground and standing up for what my responsibilities are so that I make everyone else happy, that's on no one else but me. And that's kind of been the theme to the last few months, is like taking accountability for our own lives and what is not working within them that is draining us, essentially. Okay? Yeah. So that's what I have for you. I love you all very much. And until next time, never take for granted that there will be.